Hi, hello and welcome to a new video. And today we're asking that question: how many bikes does one man need? Well, as you can see in the garage, there's three. My trusty MT10, Carol's Street Triple, and my beautiful Velocity Moto XSR900. And that's the bike I'm considering selling. Shall we get it out and I'll explain more? Come July this year, I'll have owned this bike for 5 years. Bought it in July 2019. And shall I show you how many miles I've done? Currently, at this time of recording, 3,941 miles. And that, there lies my problem. Am I riding this bike enough to justify owning it? Is it okay to keep a bike and just ride it once in a while, look at it, love it, but not actually take it out and ride it that much? Now, to give you a bit of history, I originally bought this bike, brand new bike, from Arnold's Yamaha in Burton, and it was a stock XSR900, and I shipped it down to a small company in London called Velocity Moto, and they did the modifications, which included the side pods, extending the seat, the whole rear end, the paint, the nose cone. That's still the standard XSR light. They did the double clock, but that is still the standard clock there. And that rev counter is a fake rev counter. It's actually something like a TomTom Go to sat nav, something like that anyway. And up the top we've got shift lights, which I'll show you how they work when we take it down the road. But apart from the modifications Velocity have done, the actual engine, exhaust and everything else is standard. And I've got all the bits to put the bike back to standard if someone ever wanted to do that. The reason it's not being ridden that much is because Carol and myself do most of our riding on trips. We enjoy going to see places, travelling and touring, and this doesn't really lend its hand to doing that. I don't want to put a tank bag on it or bags or anything like that, because I don't want to scratch it or spoil its lines. You know, it looks good like it is. I've loved owning it, but can I justify keeping it, really? Should I sell it and let somebody else have the enjoyment of actually riding it? Just seems a real shame not to be riding it, but I've still got my MT10, and I'm afraid my MT10 trumps it as far as enjoyment of riding is concerned. I absolutely love that bike, and I find the seats more comfortable on my MT10. It's a little wider than that, so I can do big miles on my MT10, whereas I'm probably shuffling around after a couple of 100 miles on this. Carol and I have got some big touring plans in mind for the next couple of years, and really I feel like I want to concentrate my funds on travelling, seeing places, touring, rather than owning things. And as much as this is a beautiful motorbike, it's a thing, it's a possession that I think I'd be better off having the money and spending it seeing some of the world. Coming up to the big birthday, 60, and it kind of makes you think, how many more years riding have I got? And that's why I want to see as much of the world as I can while I'm able. And this isn't going to help me do that. As far as I'm concerned, really, I only need one bike. And if I do need to change my MT10, I would consolidate probably into something that's slightly more touring oriented. So my question is, do I sell it? And how much do I sell it for? Now, I've been on the Velocity Moto group on Facebook and asked exactly that question amongst people that have bought these, and it's ranged from anything from 7,500 to 10,000. Now, I honestly don't think it's worth £10,000. I have in my mind a figure of £8,000 to £7,500. I'm certainly not desperate to sell it. I'm not going to give it away, so don't say, "Oh, I'll give you £5,000 for it, cash. Come and collect it tomorrow," because those sorts of comments will be ignored and deleted, I'm afraid. Am I doing the right thing? I love it. I enjoyed the process of taking it down to London, getting it modified. I feel like it's a part of me, really, but I'm just not riding it. Saying that, I'm not riding it at the moment, but I'm going to today. I'm going to take a ride over towards the Triumph factory and get a coffee there, and I might call around Mallory Park to see Huggy's Speed Shop. So if you want to come along with us, you're more than welcome. Traffic, 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 traffic. Welcome back. We're just on the road to Hinckley, where I'm going to go and grab some lunch. I mean, it feels nice to be back on the road. I've only had one short ride on my MT10 since we got back from Tenerife. The weather here in England has just been rubbish. Rain or freezing or a bit of both. I think Carol and I are getting less and less inclined, and riding through the winters here it's just not that much fun, is it, really? The salt rots your bikes, and we're kind of hooked on heading down somewhere warmer to at least get 2 or 3 weeks riding in, and that's kind of the reason I'm thinking of selling this. Help finance doing more of that, and in reality I only need one bike. As much as it's nice to have something that looks like this does. What do you guys think? Do you think I should keep it? Do you think I should sell it? Because obviously I'm not using it much. It's under 1,000 miles a year I'm doing on it. Probably 700, 800 miles. Oh, it's quick. It's quick. Oh, got learner up front now. I think the problem is this bike and my MT10 are a bit too similar, really, except the MT10's just a little bit quicker and a little bit faster and a little bit more exciting, but there's not much in it. They're both very, very quick. Well, naked bikes, really. The screen down here is not really doing much, is it? There lies the problem. I think if you're having several bikes, shouldn't you have bikes that are distinctively different to ride? I don't know. And I don't think it's going to turn into a classic like, you know, the RD has, that it's fashioned after. And probably if I was just going to buy a bike and keep it and just keep it in the garage and occasionally ride it, I should have probably bought an original RD 350 LC. Don't know. looking a bit dark this way. I hope it don't rain. I don't think I've ridden this bike in the rain. Always very careful when I take this out. I think one thing this would benefit from is having a louder exhaust. You can't basically hear the exhaust at all. All you really hear is engine and gearbox whine, really. It's in need of having an exhaust, I think. The guy who built the, put the kit on Velocity Moto, a guy called Hag Hughes, he could have fitted I think he wanted to fit a full Akrapovic exhaust to it, but it was probably about £1,000 more at the time to have the modification, and the modification then was probably around about 3,200, I think. I've got the receipt somewhere, and that was on top of the price of the new bike. The new bike I did get a reasonable deal on from Arnold's, because they had it in the showroom a while. So I think all in all it cost me about 11,300, something like that. I was going to show you the shift lights, they're just hidden under the camera there, but basically they come on slowly and work their way to the centre, and they flash red when you get right up to the maximum RPM, which you can set with a little button in front of the dash. So that's different to a stock XSR. That was fitted by Velocity Moto as part of the cowling kit. I think probably my only other criticism of this bike would be that if you are really pushing on, the suspension is probably a bit soft and things get a bit wallowy and a little bit out of shape. But I am 19 stone and I haven't had anything re-sprung for my weight, so a lighter person may not experience the problems I have. It's not really a problem, it's just not the fastest thing round the corner before you start noticing it. Looks fast though, doesn't it? Here we are at Triumph, and we've got here and it's not raining. It's like the factory's in full production, car parks are all full. A lot of people work here. Last time I saw, they were actually building 900 Tigers and 1200 Tigers on the production line here. I love their spot down here. How about that? Nice Z900 RS. I always think this looks comparable to one of those. Anyway, I'm going to go and get a panini and a coffee.